Okay, good morning. Let's have a class. First of all, Thursday we have a lecture exam, so Thursday we don't have lab. So that's just want to let you know, but today we'll have fun. Before that, we want to remind you, and it's in the syllabi, but you may not notice it. Chapter 10, which is the fact sheets you got last time, talk about dilution technology and the quiz. Then you turn to page 47. There is 5 simple questions. Please work with your bench partner to finish it, and 2 weeks from today, please submit. If you're very good at the math, you can do it individually. That's okay. Okay. Your fact sheet, the last week, chapter 10, talk about dilution technology and the quiz. At page 47, there is a 5 quiz. So work with your bench partner and submit the answer and the process, how you get the answer. It will be 2 weeks from today. Okay? Good. Okay, now let's talk about today's work. What we got to do today? Urinary tract infection. So we will analysis bacteria in the urine sample. So acronym we call it UTI. Okay, so we are in a microbiology class, so we really care about what is the bacteria will cause UTI. It's very simple. It is E. coli. In the United States, E. coli responsible for 80% UTI. How about another 20%? Enterococcus faecilis, Klebsiella ammonium, or those other pathogens also could cause UTI, but number 1 is E. coli. Okay, the second question, what are the reasons will cause UTI? What are the symptoms? The symptoms is very simple, called dysuria. What means dysuria? Difficult to pee. So you have a burning feeling during the peeling, and you have a frequency go to the restroom, and you never feel that your pee will be ending. All kinds of abnormal situation when you go to restroom. This is called dysuria. The terminology described is simply say difficult to pee. Now, what's the reason will cause UTI? There is a several couple of reasons. Number 1, very unfortunately, being female. And being female, the risk will be 3 to 10 times higher than a male, because the urinary tract of a female is very short. So that's sometimes not enough for the flushing process. Therefore, the bacteria could be accumulated there. So being female is one of the reasons, because of short urinary tract. The second reason is you are holding on pee too long. So let's say there is a basketball or a football game between WVU and the University of Pittsburgh. And you were very excited in the stadium for like 3 hours. Somebody be there 4 hours, even hold on the pee and never go to the restroom. If you keep doing that, will cause urinary tract infection. The third reason usually happens in the hospital is called catheterization. This is caused by the catheter. What happened is, people have those urine pipes in your body, and never refresh, never change, then after 7 days it's become molded. So the yeast and the molds could grow there and cause UTI. That's a catheterization caused by catheter. Number 4, obviously, if you have all kinds of kidney disease, kidney stone, kidney cancer, inflammation, all those things will cause UTI. Okay? So this is something basic information regarding the UTI related to the microbiology. Okay, now how we gonna test a person has UTI? We have several steps we will do. The first step is dip stick. So what is dipstick? You will get some dipstick from a very professional medical store, like this type of bottle. And inside you will see there is some of the strip like this. And you also could get a very simple one from CVS, which is called urine tract testing kit. Now what's the difference between these? I will explain to you. Let's talk about this complicated one. When you have this strip there, and usually we will do a urine sample first. That's called casual urine. Okay? So we have a casual urine. So let's say you're not feeling very well. Okay, you go to see a doctor. So doctor gave you a cup. Go ahead to pee. So get your urine sample. Then get your urine sample. What are you going to do? A dip strip will be gently immersed inside, and then after like 30 seconds, took it out. So we're going to insert, use a strip, or we call it a urine strip. And then we took it out. After like another 30 seconds, there is some color change. We're going to compare to the standard color spectrum right here. Obviously, we will determine whether it's positive or negative based on the color change. But you look at these items, there is so many. There is a protein, there's a pH, there's a blood, there's a ketone, there's a glucose, there's the leukocyte. What do we really care about? So from the microbiology standpoint, we care about 3 items. Number 1, blood cell. Obviously, red blood cell. If you have a red blood cell, possibly maybe UTI. Your urine sample should not have any blood cell there. But this is not really determined, yes or no, because some of the lady will have mild red blood cell in their urine sample their whole life. That happens. So it does not mean you have a UTI for some unknown reason. The second what we are looking for is white blood cell. The white blood cell, we are not really looking for a white blood cell. We are actually looking for a white blood cell enzyme. And when you look at the enzyme here, it's called leukocytes. Leukocyte. So you should not have a white blood cell in your urine sample. If you have it, it's possible UTI. Another thing we're going to look like is nitrite. And your urine sample should not have nitrite. So why it can't use this as one of the index? The reason is that we more or less take some of the meat, especially ready to eat meat. Let's say hot dog, ham, turkey breast, those processed meat, you more or less will take some. Those products sometimes has nitrite and sometimes has nitrate. And if the bacteria, especially like E. coli, is in your body, in your urine sample, the nitrate can be reduced to become nitrite. So then it is showing up a positive in your urine sample. So those are the three markers. Red blood cell, white blood cell, and nitrite is for determining UTI. And this is very obviously showing on the page 112 in your fact sheets. Okay? So we got a urine sample, and then we do the dipstick test. We find that it is positive, or all of them are positive, or even one of them or two of them are positive. What we should do? We move on to a next step. Is called qualitative test. So what means a qualitative test? We will to see the presence absence of a bacteria, possibly is E. coli in your urine sample. So what we do? We need a two agar. What are the two agar we need? McConkey agar and a blood agar. So the next step, what they do? They're using a sterilized plastic loop to pick some of the urine solution and do the streak plating onto McConkey agar and onto blood agar. That's the next step. So, first of all, you have a blood agar. Okay? Then, you got a McConkey agar. And I'm going to do a very simple streak plating. Very intensive at the beginning, less intensive, more less intensive, and final. Same thing right here. Okay? Same thing right here. Less intensive, more less intensive, and final. And then those two plates, we both incubate 35 degrees Celsius, about like 48 hours. If you see there is a pink colony there, what this means? If it's a pink colony there, possible E. coli, or maybe Klebsiella. Is that right? Ammonia. Could be. Both are cause lactose fermentation positive. And the blood cell, what are we going to see? Obviously, you will see the colony there. And sometimes, if you see a transparent zone, that means you may have a kidney disease. The bacteria is very invasive. So that's called the qualitative test. Okay, let's say the qualitative test. One of the plates is showing the colony there, or two plates showing the colony there. What are we going to do? Then we move to next step, is called quantitative test. Quantitative test. What is the quantitative test? We will get a neutron agar or a TSA. So let's say we get a neutron agar. And we'll get a loop. Okay? We get a loop. We will do a very, of course you have to touch the urine sample. We will do a very gentle streak like this. Very gentle. Very gentle, averagely covers the surface. Then we turn 90 degrees, do another gentle streak. Make sure your loop is not back to the urine sample. Okay, we do another streak. Okay, loop not back to urine cup. And then this plate will incubate 35 degrees Celsius, 24 hours. You will see the colony there. That's what happens. You see some of the colony going to grow there. Okay, after that, you'll see some colony grow. Let's say you have these colony grow. Now there is a question. Is this guy has UTI if the sample from a patient? No, we have to count the colony. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There is a 21 colony there. So how many bacteria in the urine sample? What is the concentration? The formula is 21 multiplied by dilution factor. This dilution factor equals 1,000. So this total is 21 multiplied by 10 to the 3 equals 2.1 multiplied by 10 to the 4 CFU per ml. Now the question is going to remain. How you get to dilution factor is 10 to the 3. Okay? Remember we had a loop? For this loop, clinically we think a minimum of a bacterial solution is carried there. How many? 0.001 ml. That is 1 microliter. In other words, 1 divided by 0.001 equals 1,000. That's a dilution factor. Okay? Now there's a remaining question. We get this number. Is this patient has UTI? Probably not. Because a standard is if a patient, the urine sample more than 100,000 CFU per ml, this guy is UTI. So if you have a 21,000, that's not a UTI clinically. But you might be getting there, so you need to visit a doctor another 3 months to retest. Let's say I have another patient, I get 221 colonies. Then how many bacteria in there? What's the concentration? That's multiplied by 10 to the 3. That equals 21,000. And this is more than 100,000. So this guy is UTI. Okay? So it's very simple but very useful methods to determine whether you have UTI from the dipstick test, from the qualitative test, and the quantitative test. So today we're going to do the work. So how are we going to do it? Everybody will do it individually. We have made the urine sample right here. Well, you shake a little bit, okay? I was trying to order all these kind of strip. However, the UPS have a delivery problem. It always happens in Evansdale campus, so I didn't get enough. So if you are testing use made the urine sample, we will skip the dipstick test. Then you will get 3 agar. Neutral agar for quantitative test. Macanchi agar and blood agar for qualitative test. So you get a 3 agar. Now don't forget what's the first thing to do. Is label at the back. Is that right? Don't forget label. Okay? That's extremely important. Do not forget label. And do not forget label. Your name, initial, date, bench, number, and you just say urine sample. So that's for the, if you're doing the measured urine. Now, I want the 3 of you in this classroom can volunteer to test your own urine. Who wants to do that? It's a free test. If you go to see a doctor, $25 copay, if you have insurance. Who wants to do it? I want 3 volunteers. So what do? If you want to do this, go to get a pee from the restroom. And then come here to get a dipstick. We got to follow the procedure. Imagine you have a UTI. First of all, do the dipstick to see whether you have a 3 marker. Then move to qualitative and the quantitative test. Who wants to do it? Madeline, can you do it?
No.
Who else? Okay. Sample number 1. Second. What is that? What is that? Hold on a little bit. Come back. Who else? I want some girls can do test. Who wants to do it? Can you do it? Who wants to volunteer do it? First bench right there. Emily, can you do it? If you don't want people to see the color, you can use a paper towel to cover it. Who else wants to pick? I mean, I need some girls, to be honest. It's a very good. Lots of people participate in the past couple of years. Can you do it?
I'm non-binary, so I ain't a girl.
Just do it. Who else?
I'll do it.
Okay, very good. Okay, one more. Who wants to do it? Yeah, I told you. Free test, $25. Otherwise, I'll collect the $75 here. Is that right? Okay. Listen, what are you guys to do? Okay, if you really want your privacy, this is what you do. You don't want to see your color, but I want to tell you one thing. The first thing what you do is see your color. Okay? Cover like this. Okay, nobody see it. Okay? Go to there to get your urine sample, and then come here to get a dipstick, and show your bench partner and all your friends how you did it. Okay? Go inside and took it out, but not like this. Otherwise, the urine sample is everywhere. Okay, go inside once, 30 seconds, then took it out. Use a paper towel, then compare the color spectrum right here. The color plate like here, okay? So that's give you, because other people will not get the practice, so you do it. If you don't want to see, if you like people just see your sample, then it's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay? That's very good. And make sure your sample is labeled very well. We'll do some of the analysis. I'm guarantee you have some bacteria there. But the bacteria is not from contamination. So make sure you got it from a new bag of the loop. Okay? Not to mess it up with your bench partner. Now, all of you have 2 choices. If you use measured urine sample, you could use just a metal loop. Make sure you sterilize it. Or you can use this plastic one. It's up to you. But don't contaminate it, because otherwise it's going to be everywhere. Okay? The idea is that we want to see whether one of these are positive, whether the presence, absence of colony on the Macanthi agar, blood agar, and whether your final number on the neutral agar is more than 100,000. If that, it's UTI. Okay, good. So let's do it.
Basically,